Job.
Yeah.
Alec, can you hear us?
Russell, yeah.
Hello, Alec.
Hey.
You're calling about a transgender question, right?
Correct.
Okay, and I
Okay.
assume, have you heard most of what we've already said on the subject so far?
This show has been kind of hard to watch. And the stream has been going in and out.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Well, what's your question?
Okay. Well, this started from a discussion I had with an atheist YouTuber this summer, just after Caitlyn Jenner came out.
Okay. Do you mind telling me which atheist YouTuber?
Prefer not to.
Okay. There are a lot of them out there who are very opinionated.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I don't like to identify as a YouTube atheist.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I agreed with most of what he said. He was very specific on this one point. And he said that if a person came up to me and insisted that they were one particular gender, which contradicted their physical appearance, I should still refer to that person. And let's just say they insisted they wanted to be referred to by female pronouns, but they appeared male. I said, no, I'm not going to do this. Skeptic, this is contradicting right in front of my face. This person is male. I'm not going to refer to this person as he, her.
Why?
And,
I mean, what difference does it make to you?
because I view myself as a skeptic and it would basically belong.
Well, I mean, I'm just wondering, what if somebody came up to you and they said, my name is Bob, and you said, you don't look like a Bob, I'm going to call you Steve. And you got into these arguments about whether the person's name really was Bob, and you were just saying, it doesn't make sense to call you Bob, I really prefer to call you Steve. Wouldn't that come across as a little rude?
Well, but that doesn't contradict evidence. How would you think somebody came up to you who clearly looked like they were male and said, my name is Tracy Harris, and demanded to be called Tracy Harris? Would you do that?
Possibly.
Well,
you know.
but I know Tracy Harris, so probably not.
Well, I'm sure there's
Yeah.
more than one Tracy Harris in the world, too.
So yeah, it depends on which Tracy they're talking about. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, if someone comes up to me and says that they identify as, male or female, and they prefer the use of a specific, male or female pronoun or a neutral pronoun, I tend to use whatever pronoun they prefer.
Okay, well,
Because it's not my place to tell them whether they're male or female.
Right, and
Well-
one thing that I was starting to talk about earlier when we weren't able to take any calls was the fact that a lot of the cues that we see as representing masculinity or femininity are actually a lot more cultural than we give them credit for.
okay,
Yeah.
And so, I don't really feel that it's important that the word he, which is in itself just an artifact of the language that we speak and the way that we apply words, the word he be used for someone who prefers to be called she. Does that make any sense to you?
it makes sense, but it's still, I mean, I use pronouns based on physical attributes.
Okay.
And I could even call it like it's my religion to use physical attributes and
Okay.
use
Are you like making a judgment about? I mean, are you making a call about whether a person is a male or a female? I mean, how do you know that your algorithm for figuring out which gender somebody is always correct? What if you are like, you are obviously a man and I'm going to call you a man, but you are in fact talking to a very butch woman, let's say? Like, is it, is that possibility that you could be wrong?
I'm talking strictly about cases where it's clear cut. I mean, I've definitely met a few people who
are you infallible?
Yeah. In what way is it clear cut?
Well, Jen, how would you feel if I started calling you by masculine pronouns?
Well, I would tell you that
you're pretty clearly female.
Well, the point is, I don't identify as a male, so I would probably correct you that I'm a woman.
Be kind of a jerk move because she didn't ask you to call her a male and she didn't want you to call her a male. So why would you do that?
Now, to be clear, I wouldn't be insulted by it.
Right.
But I would correct you. If you continued to do it, then I'd just think you were an asshole.
Yeah, it would be like if you kept calling her Steve.
Yeah.
It's not that, there's a right or wrong name for Jen. It's just she told you she wants to be called Jen.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I had a guy on Facebook at one point who I corrected him about something else that he had asserted. And he got pissed off at me, and he wrote to the TV list and referred to me using masculine pronouns, as if he thought that would insult me. So I don't think there's anything wrong with being a man, and so I'm not insulted by someone applying masculine pronouns to me, but it was really absurd and childish for him to do that, since he knows very well that I identify as a woman.
Okay, but your determination seems to be strictly a perception that this person has, which, so far as I can tell, is entirely within their head. Hello?
Gender is kind of in your head.
Yeah, my name is also in my head, getting back to that same analogy. So what?
Okay, so what's the difference between believing that and believing that a person who says, I hear a voice in my head and it's God?
Well, one's a delusion and one's not. One's an identity.
Right. At that point, they're referring to something that is external.
Yeah.
But one contradicts physical evidence.
What physical evidence?
Their physical attributes of their body.
Are you talking about
such as
dick?
Yeah, basically.
So it's your assessment that anyone who has something that looks like a penis must be male.
So that's how I determine how I use pronouns.
Are you aware? Yeah.
You're checking somebody's pants to determine what pronouns to use?
Not literally, but I go by appearance. I don't ask the person to strip naked. But I mean, even if you do ask a person to strip naked, you're still going by appearance. I mean, you don't check if the organs are functional.
Yeah, I gotta go by what people tell me. So,
okay, well, you can do that, but I reserve the right to go by appearance.
Well, that would make you an asshole.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does, actually.
Yeah,
It makes me a skeptic who doesn't
That's not
take
about
somebody's
skepticism.
word for something when they have no evidence to support it.
Of course they have evidence to support it. Don't you think people know
No, I'm
what
talking
gender
about
they
somebody
are?
who walked up to me who never met me before.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen them before in my life, and they just told me something out of the blue, okay, that contradicts their physical appearance. So
Okay.
there's no evidence supporting what they are saying.
Okay.
Well,
You must be a big hit at parties.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go to people who were like last night I was talking to some people who were complaining about like their property taxes in their yard, and I didn't go up to them and say, I demand to see a title to your house. It's like in a lot of cases, being argumentative and challenging all the time is just not useful, and that goes doubly for people just talking about their identity. Because I'm going to come back to what I said earlier, that a lot of things that we think of as masculine and feminine are, in fact, largely social cues, like the fact that boys like pink, or girls like pink, and boys like blue, and boys like toy soldiers, and girls like baby dolls, are things that tend to be imposed on people from birth.
Okay, well,
basically
those are
assigned to
mental
them.
preferences. Those aren't physical attributes.
They are, but you are your focus on physical appearance as a way for you to decide what pronouns they should use to refer to themselves.
I'm not talking, they can use whatever pronouns they want, but they can't tell me what pronouns I have to use.
Okay, but they don't have to talk to you either.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if you just keep talking to me and calling me Steve because I haven't produced a birth certificate that says my name is Russell, I can't
that's not
make
contradicting
you,
anything,
I can't make you call me Russell, but I can say you're a dick and I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
Okay, but calling you Steve, if I had never met you before and I just saw you for the first time and you told me your name was Steve, that in no way contradicts any evidence that I have.
So would you do it?
If I had never met, if I hadn't been watching the show for quite a while, yeah, I would. But
wait,
I've seen you called Russell far too many times at this point.
So you would just start calling me Steve for no reason?
If I'd never met you before, you walked up to me and you introduced yourself as Steve.
No,
yes.
So you would use whatever name I told you I would like to go by. You wouldn't assign me a name based on your personal preference.
No, I'm saying if you asked me to call you Steve.
Yeah, but I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying you wouldn't. For some reason, I don't think I'm getting through here. You go.
No, I was just curious. What is it? Why are you so wedded to the idea of substituting your own assessment of someone's gender for their assessment of their gender? I mean, why are you so invested in this?
Because their gender is based purely on insubstantial thinking. It's their own thought, basically, whereas my assessment of gender is based on physical attributes.
Oh, so you have some special access to the truth that they don't seem to have.
They seem to be in denial of obvious. I mean, I'm talking about people that anybody would look at and say, this person appears male, this person appears female.
So it's your view that gender is a binary thing, that you're either male or female.
It's not a special gift of my own.
Well, yeah, I would agree that it's not a special gift at all. So you think gender is binary, that you're either male or female, right?
Actually, no.
Okay.
The problem comes from our ancient ancestors who insisted on doing it that way and stuck us with these two pronouns of he and she.
Well, those aren't the only pronouns.
If you think that's a problem, then why are you so intent on perpetuating it?
I'm not the one perpetuating it. I'm just talking about somebody who's coming up to me and asking me to refer to them by these pronouns.
So what difference does it make to you? Why does it harm you to refer to them as the pronouns they choose?
It offends, I believe, as Matt Dillahunty has a shirt, I like to know as many true things as possible, and I forget exactly how he says it, but
and again, you seem to think that you have some special access to the truth that these people don't have about themselves.
They have physical attributes that make them whatever gender that you appear to be looking at people and then accepting a percent of their gender from their parents, and you just accept that. I don't understand why you do that.
Why would I not? Why would I accept what they tell me about their gender?
When it contradicts their physical appearance.
Well, because I take
I think maybe the caller has a misconception that that like physiologists and psychologists are generally side with that, and I think that if he would study, he would actually look into some psychological papers about gender identity. You would find that it's a lot less clear cut than you seem to be thinking.
I know it's clear cut.
You know it's clear cut.
Yeah,
because
you know
you're
no
the
such
expert on the topic.
So you are aware that there are certain congenital conditions that may make someone's gender ambiguous, right?
Right.
So what about those people?
Okay.
So
you
if
might,
you
might come up with neutral pronouns for them. Coming up,
there are neutral pronouns. You can use they. There's nothing wrong with that.
You can use she, which I've heard is a thing. I'm kind of find it awkward myself, but you could if you cared.
But the thing is, you could use the pronoun that the person prefers.
I prefer to use the pronoun
that you prefer.
Is
that you prefer.
With their physical being.
So fuck them. It's what you want, right?
No, it's validity.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I think we've mined this call out about as much as we can. Thanks for calling, Alec.
I'm finding you guys delusional.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.